Hey everyone, me Kevin here. For today's Apple event roundup, we're going to start with the good and we're going to go to the bad of what happened at the event. First things first, I'm just going to go ahead and show you on my phone. What I like is using the action button on the iPhone 15. And so when I hold down that action button, I actually have a shortcut that pops up and it lets me turn off inverted colors if I have inverted colors on, which I do sometimes for opening up social media and I don't want to get distracted on it, so I have invert color automatically come on. Sometimes I want to turn it off, so I could use the action button and then I could tap to turn the inverted color off. I could activate one of my different SIM cards that I have since I have eSIMs, and once you have more than two, you could easily switch around by using an action button move like this. You could also quickly go to Voice GPT or Type GPT or Video or Photo. One of the downsides is my action button is no longer as quick for taking a photo. And so now I hit my action button and then I have to tap to go to the either photo or video, and it's a little bit slower. So when I heard about the capacitive touch control, which is actually apparently going to work with MagSafe as well, I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with the idea of adding another button that I could then use on the side to essentially use as a camera shutter or to change aperture or whatever. I think this is great. It's going to get me into my camera action faster, and it's wonderful for babies and children, which, as you know, I got 7 children, so I'm kind of a big fan of this. Now, with that said, I like that we now have this studio mic feature where we can adjust which direction the microphone is able to pick up audio from.
Studio Mix gives the effect of a recording in a professional studio, complete with sound dampening walls, effectively eliminating reverb.
No, it's your grandma's bundt cakes.
Times 2.
So that could be in frame or surround sound. Kind of neat for filming video, especially in a noisy place if you're trying to direct the mic at one spot rather than getting all that background noise. Some of that has already automatically happened, but this is just giving you a little bit more of a software control to direct the phone towards what you want to do. So big fan of that. I do last year appreciate that they came out with a spatial photography update. That was one of the reasons I wanted to get the iPhone 15. Mostly I thought, hey, this will be great for memories with children. And I've definitely been filming spatial videos, and I enjoy putting them on the Vision Pro, though that's one of the few things that I like the Vision Pro for. Probably more useful the Vision Pro for editing boring Word documents. But I have found that the Vision Pro is really exhausting to wear frequently, especially if you're on a treadmill, because that walking motion puts a lot of strain of that weight on your head, and it's kind of annoying. So there's a little bit of a limitation with how much I'm using that Vision Pro for, but it's somewhat useful for that creative spatial photography or that spatial video. Big fan of that. As far as the technological increases for the iPhone 16 Pro, looks like you're getting a 17% increase in memory bandwidth, 15% faster than the A17 Pro, which is basically what's in this device. I don't actually see that as being that meaningful of a difference. I understand it's just a 1-year model, so hey, 15 to 17%, that's great. But I don't know if I'm going to notice the difference in that. So I'm not sure that I really need to upgrade here for speed or battery life. I do realize the bezel is declining, and so we're getting a slightly larger screen size by about 0.2 of an inch diagonally. Not bad. I'm a big fan of that. I don't know if it's worth upgrading. I guess, hey, if you can get up to $1,000 for trade-in value, hey, maybe it's worth it. One of the downsides that I found, though, with upgrading my phone is I have so many two-factor authentication applications like Duo or Microsoft or Synology or Google Auth or Ubiquiti that every time I change devices, I have to go through and redo all of these. And unfortunately, if you go through and redo all of them and you do it, you forget one of them, you kind of get screwed, and sometimes you get locked out of systems that you really need to be in. Resetting them otherwise can sometimes be a pain in the butt. So the iPhone upgrade cycle has gotten a little bit less desirable for me because of all of those device-specific two factors that are somewhat annoying. I also, last time I upgraded from the 14 to 15, had some issues getting some of my eSIMs transferred over. So then I had to end up having to go into specific stores like the T-Mobile store, and I wasn't super excited or jazzed about that. So as far as some of the other updates we got from the iPhone 16 Pro, supposedly we're getting a better thermal casing, which is good because I've actually found the iPhone 15 overheat sometimes by doing Matterport scans, which is a little bit of a bummer. It just shouldn't be overheating on that, but it happens. So with that, I don't know. Is the iPhone really going to be enough sizzle for me to upgrade? Let's just say I'm not spamming the refresh button right now being interested in upgrading. This is going to be more of one where I'm kind of going to sit like, all right, maybe I'll get the motivation one day, but that faster button on the side, is it worth the headache of going through the upgrade? I don't know. Usually I end up doing it, but right now I'm not feeling jazzed enough to do it for these upgrades. I like the extra button, but that's about all I'm getting, and I don't know that I want to go through the effort solely for that button, especially since with that action button that I already have from the 15 model, I can already get to my photos relatively quickly. Now, is it possible that if you had the 14 or prior where you don't already have the action button, and now you'd be upgrading to the action button and that capacitive touch button, would that potentially be worth it? Probably more worth it. Mostly because I find having the physical button to get to the camera a lot easier than having to like hold down the bottom right corner of your home screen to get to that little camera icon. That's one of the things, at least, that I've found. The iPhone 16, obviously they mentioned 30% less power, 3 nanometer technology in the chip, optimized for AI. That's great, but the iPhone 15s are expected to be able to use the same AI tech. And we heard a lot of the AI updates from the prior AI event, like the onboard generative AI, search your photos, search within videos that you've taken. It's safe and it'll be audited. The storage of its systems will be audited. That's great, but we heard a lot of this information at the prior event, the AI event, and we still haven't seen some of those updates released beyond if you are one of the rare beta users that wants to use the beta update software. And we still don't have a dedicated time frame in terms of when we're actually going to get those specific updates, at least outside of beta.
The first set of features will be available in beta next month, with more features rolling out in the months to come.
So not particularly excited about, like, hey, where's our AI? Like, when is it finally going to show up? Even though I think Apple is going in the right direction with Apple Intelligence, big fan of on-device AI, I'm not as big of a fan with how long it's taking for them to actually release it. I like the idea of, oh, I'm going to take a picture of something and then be able to Google it. But I could also do that today with Google Search. You could search by uploading a picture. Anyway, I did think the hearing protection option that they're coming out with in conjunction with the Apple AirPod Pros and the iPhone, where they can now do a hearing test for you, I thought that was kind of cool, but I don't think anybody really under 40 is going to care. I don't really care that much, but then again, I'm also 32, so, you know, I'm under that 40 range. Anyway, I didn't see a reason to upgrade the AirPods Max either, as well as the AirPods. Like, none of the features I heard here were encouraging. I did like that on the new Watch Series 10, you could play music through the actual device. That was cool, but again, I don't know that I'm going to use that too often. For example, this personalized spatial audio, they've already had that feature. USB-C has already existed beyond Lightning, so also not so enthused on those upgrades. Now, I was most looking forward to the Apple Watch Ultra upgrade, and I didn't really see a big upgrade here either. Now, I have the Apple Watch, I think this is the first Ultra, and yeah, Apple Watch Ultra. This is the first generation of the Apple Watch Ultra, so I believe at this point this is now 2 years old, and it's a great watch. I love it, but I didn't see anything that made me want to upgrade this again for the second year in a row. I didn't upgrade last year when they had the tappy thing. I just didn't think it would function very well, and so far from what I talked to about this with people are like, yeah, no, it's not really worth it. Didn't upgrade to that one last year, and I don't feel compelled to upgrade this year either. Mostly, yeah, cool, you get a new dark color, but I'm okay with this color. I also don't really care about the new watch bands because I think they're a little overpriced. I personally really like this watch band that I found on Amazon. Hashtag not sponsored. Only sponsor around here is life insurance. You can get in as little as 5 minutes by going to metkevin.com/life. But look at that. I think this is a really cool watch case, right? Or watch band right here because it has sort of that integrated wood and then that metal look. And so I think that's really cool. And this was like 20 something bucks on Amazon. I had to scroll to like page 5 to find the darn thing. But anyway, I thought it was worth it. So I bought it. It was a little bit of a pain in the butt to size though. So just a heads up, like you're going to sit there at your kitchen table for a while going, why did I do this to myself? I mean, it's a cheapie. So what do you expect, right? I could quickly find out what that order looked like as well. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, so this was my order right here on screen. Yeah, $24.99. I'll put a link in the description here, but I bought this in July, and I've really enjoyed it since then. Okay, otherwise, let's see what other notes that we had here from Apple. We've got Jet Black for the regular watch, and they're adding sleep apnea and snorkeling updates. Same thing, though, with atrial fibrillation, sleep tracking, loud sounds, ovulation. I mean, these are all somewhat old. We've already known about these things. The idea now that the new Apple Watch Series 10 is the thinnest watch ever, and it's 40% brighter from a side or angled viewing angle. Okay. I mean, I guess if I had like an old version I was going to upgrade anyway, great. That's kind of how I feel about all of these updates. Do I think any of these things are actually going to spur some kind of super cycle of upgrades to be super beneficial for Apple stock? Unfortunately, no. I don't see any of these upgrades being that critically impressive or important or enthusiastic for me to say, oh yeah, this is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. So for me, I think most of these devices are sadly a pass. I'm a little bit disappointed in saying that because I was looking forward to upgrading the watch. It's been 2 years, but oh well, that's not going to happen. And I just don't think going through the effort of all of this reset up on the iPhone 16 for maybe 15% faster or more efficient is really going to be worth it for me. The only thing that might one day convince me is that capacitive touch for opening up my Photos app or taking photos or whatever. But I'm still not convinced that that's going to be enough for me to actually pull the trigger on the order button. That's my take. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a good one out there. Goodbye. Good luck. Let me know what your comments are down below, and check out our paid partner with life insurance at metkevin.com/life. Life insurance you can get in as little as 5 minutes. Thanks so much. Bye.
These things that you told us here, I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.
Even though I'm a licensed financial advisor, licensed real estate broker, and becoming a stockbroker, this video is not personalized advice for you. It is not tax, legal, or otherwise personalized advice tailored to you. This video provides generalized perspective, information, and commentary. Any third-party content I show shall not be deemed endorsed by me. This video is not and shall never be deemed reasonably sufficient information for the purposes of evaluating a security or investment decision. Any links or promoted products are either paid affiliations or products or services we may benefit from. I also personally operate an actively managed ETF. I may personally hold or otherwise hold long or short positions in various securities, potentially including those mentioned in this video. However, I have no relationship to any issuer other than Househack, nor am I presently acting as a market maker. Make sure if you're considering investing in Househack to always read the PPM at househack.com.